Hi, I'm Doreen Bolger, Director of the Baltimore Museum of Art, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the museum where we have a wonderful collection of African American art. That collection began in 1939 with an important exhibition of contemporary African American artists, and in recent years we've added as many as 50 works to the collection. This charming portrait of a child was painted by Joshua Johnson, the first African American to be recognized as an artist. Here, Charles Herman Stricker Williams wears a pair of bright red shoes. Those were a signature of Johnson and a costume that he brought around with him when he asked people to pose. It was painted over 200 years ago in Baltimore, and you can get a sense of place from this by looking into the distance where you see a couple of wonderful brick row homes, characteristic even today of our wonderful residential neighborhoods. This marble sculpture from 1870 was carved by Edmonia Lewis, the daughter of a Chippewa mother and an African-American father. Edmonia went on to Oberlin College and eventually worked abroad in Italy. She was a tremendous abolitionist, but here she shows a quieter subject, two children waiting for the dawn, sleeping sweetly. You get a hint of the light to come in the opening morning glories that they hold. Hale Woodruff painted this Normandy landscape in 1928. Woodruff spent a great deal of his career abroad, following in the footsteps of his mentor, Henry Ossawa Tanner. Here you can see the influence of the Impressionists and of Paul Cézanne. This is a particularly wonderful painting for us to have at the BMA because it places the contribution of African American artists in an international context. This is a quick nap by Walter Williams, painted in 1952. It's a very recent acquisition by the museum. Williams was a Brooklyn-born artist who couldn't resist showing this quiet moment for a child, this moment of relaxation in the heart of the city. In Chess Players, painted in 1954, Jacob Lawrence shows two opponents in the midst of a very tense chess game. This is a picture that rewards a close look. The artist captures the sense of tension and competition in small, crunchy details. Look at the still life in the foreground of the picture. The faces of each of these figures look so intent, so rapt on winning the competition. Here we are in the BMA's West Wing for Contemporary Art, where an entire room is devoted to this new media piece by Lorna Simpson. Simpson's a leading artist of her generation, and here she shows us a group of people inserted into a minimalist grid. They're humming a song written by Rodgers and Hammerstein. This version is by John Coltrane. If you look closely at this abstract painting by Alma Thomas, Evening Glow, painted in 1972, you can feel the twilight warmth coming through the surface of the canvas. Thomas began her career early, studying at Howard in the 1920s, but she didn't achieve wide recognition until later on. She achieved many firsts, a solo show at the Whitney Museum of American Art, and she exhibited her paintings at the White House on 3 occasions. Thank you for joining me today on this tour of African American art in the BMA collection. Come to the museum soon, we'll have even more examples out. And remember, the BMA has free general admission, so bring your family and come often. I'm Doreen Bolger, and this is my Baltimore.